And we are live here today in the English for Success community. This is the English for Success live show. And we're here to answer a very important question for all of you here today. So before we get started, before I tell you the question I'm here to answer, let me share with you how you can comment, how you can get interactive with us here, okay? This is something that happens only in this community and on YouTube as well. We're also live on YouTube. But if you're here in the Facebook group, in our free Facebook group, you can comment. I can bring your comments up on the screen here, and we can get interactive here today. Okay, you can go to streamyard.com/Facebook. Let me see, can I add that? Someone has already added a comment here. Okay, so this is what happens. Thank you very much for all the love. Uh, if you don't give StreamYard Facebook, if you don't give StreamYard permissions, this is what happens. We don't know who it is, okay? So you can do this and then I can bring your name up on the screen, okay? streamyard.com/Facebook. And as I said, I'm here today to help all of you because I'm talking to people every day on Zoom and people are applying to join the program, and I'm seeing the same problems again and again and again. And I want to answer this question in the best way I can today is how can I get real results fast? Most people who contact me, they are serious about becoming fluent in English. And they need to get real results, okay? But they don't know what they have to do. What is the process? So if you don't know how you can get real results speaking English fluently, we're here to help you here today. So pop into the comments, say hello, tell us where you're watching from, and I'm going to tell you all about and take you through a journey of discovery using the Wheel of Fluency. You may have seen I shared this on Facebook today, and let's just check that we're live here and check I can see the comments. Okay, who sent me those? It was Namfon. Okay, thank you, Namfon. Normally your name comes up here on StreamYard. So what is the Wheel of Fluency? First of all, what is fluency? Fluency should be your goal for speaking English. Fluent is like a water flowing. Okay, so most people who speak to me, they say, I can't automatically speak English, or I can't speak English naturally, or I'm translating in my head. Do you feel like when you're speaking English, you have to translate from your native language and you waste time when you're speaking English? If this is true, if this is how you feel, please comment. Just hit like or maybe comment number 1, nice and easy, so I can get some feedback from you guys here today. Just type a 1 in the comments if you feel like when you're speaking English that you have to translate from your native language first. It's not flowing. Or maybe you're searching for the vocabulary. Okay. If this is you, I'm going to help you here today by telling you how you can be fluent. And fluent means you speak naturally. Your ideas flow naturally. That should be your goal. Okay. If you need English to achieve your goals in life, it should be fluency you're looking for. And what is the Wheel of Fluency? Well, the Wheel of Fluency is an amazing tool that I use. Actually, it's been inspired by our friend Tony Robbins. All right. And Tony Robbins does this. He calls it the Wheel of Life. And it's used in a lot of different places, but it looks a little bit like this. It's a wheel, okay? And there are 6 main elements that you need, 6 really important things you need to speak English fluently, okay? And what you do is you use this tool to see where is your weak point. Where do you have a low score? Okay, and your goal is to balance out this wheel, all right, to have it in balance. If you give yourself a score out of 10 for each of these elements, then you will see where you need to focus your energy. Okay, so just to be clear, how do we use this tool? I'm going to do it here with you today for a few minutes. But your goal, remember, start with why. Why are you doing this? Your goal is to see where you need to focus your energy. All right. If you have very high score in everything except for one area, that is where you need to focus your energy. Because I meet plenty of people who study English academically for years and years and years, have a great vocabulary, or have excellent grammar, but when they speak, they're very difficult to understand because their pronunciation, the sound of their English is not clear. So they have all of this amazing language in their head, but the sound is not clear, so it's difficult to understand what they're saying. And that just breaks down the communication. Okay, so if someone like that uses the Wheel of Fluency, they'll say, okay, I need to focus on my pronunciation. If they focus on their pronunciation for a very short time, they can improve that score, then they improve their fluency. Their life is much easier. They can reach their goals. So, what are the 6 elements of fluency? What are the 6 features we have in the English fluency wheel? First of all, we have speaking time, then we have understanding, pronunciation, grammar, active vocabulary, and then mindset and confidence, something that most people really don't think of a lot when they're learning a language, right? So, what do each of these topics mean? All right. So the first one, speaking time. This is, in my experience, most people are low in this score. The time you spend actually communicating with real people. Okay. And when you're speaking, you're using all of the other elements. Okay. So how much time are you spending speaking with real people? As we go through this activity here today, I want you to think about this. Get a piece of paper. If you want the worksheet, comment worksheet below. We'll send it to you. Okay. So, or else do it on a piece of paper. 6 elements. Give yourself a score out of 10. How much speaking time are you getting at the moment? Okay. Give yourself a score out of 10 for speaking time. Number 2 is understanding. Okay. And this is how much you can understand when other people are speaking in English. And as you know, there are a variety of accents in English, different people from around the world, different countries, different ways of speaking. So, in general, how much do you understand when you're listening to people speak in English? Or when you're reading as well? Okay, when you're listening or you're reading, give yourself a score out of 10. Number 3 is pronunciation. Okay, this is the sound of your English, not necessarily your accent, but how clearly you speak. How it, how easy is it for other people to understand you when you speak? Okay, people from different parts of the world have different issues when it comes to pronunciation. Maybe it's ending sounds. Maybe it's the R sound. Maybe it's the S sound. Maybe it's the SH sound. But overall, how easy is it for other people to understand you when you're speaking English? That's number 3. That is your pronunciation. And then let's take a look at number 4. Number 4 is your grammar. Okay, now let me speak a little bit about grammar for a second. When this is very important, do not think of English as a subject that you have to study, like you did in school, maybe studying grammar rules to do exercises to pass tests. That doesn't help your fluency. Okay, the way you do this is that you get real communication practice and then you look at the grammar. Is it correct? Is it not correct? How can it be corrected? How can it be more accurate? Okay, so it is important to use grammar correctly, but it's most people are not learning, not practicing this in the right way. If you can have someone to give you feedback, that's great. Use it in context, make corrections, and make sure you're speaking correctly. So when we look at element number 4 here, this is your ability to use the language correctly, to create sentences so your message is clear, using the correct tense, for example. Okay, so give yourself a score out of 10 for your grammar. How accurate, how correct, how clear is your message when you're speaking in English? Number 5 is active vocabulary. Okay, so this is all of the words that you can easily use without hesitating. Okay, without hesitating. So we all have dormant vocabulary in our brains, right? Words that we're not really ready to use. Sometimes if we see them or we hear them, we think we understand, but it doesn't come naturally when you're speaking, right? That means it's not active. So active vocabulary is the words that you can easily just use when you're speaking. Give yourself a score out of 10. And finally is mindset and confidence. Okay, so mindset and confidence is basically how do you feel about English? How do you feel about your English? Do you enjoy learning English? Do you enjoy speaking English? And how do you feel about your ability to communicate in English? And we are also talking about confidence here because confidence is key. Most people, when they speak in their own language, their confidence is quite high. But when they change to English, they get a new personality and their confidence drops a little bit. When your confidence is low, I just realized my microphone was way down here. Maybe my sound wasn't so good until now. Hopefully it's better now. So when your confidence is low, that really stops you from moving forward. It stops you from taking chances. It stops you from reaching out to people, making those connections that you need to make. So confidence is really important. How confident do you feel? So element number 6 here is about your mindset and your confidence. How do you feel about English? How do you feel about your English? And this is really how you do this, right? This is how you look at your own situation. And most importantly, as I said at the start here, you know where you need to focus. Okay, so as I said, you can comment, we'll send you the worksheet, or else just give yourself a score out of 10 for each of these 6 major areas. And then think about how you can improve. All right, so let me just bring back up the wheel here and just show you an example, right? So sometimes I speak to people, a lot of the time they say that their speaking time is quite low. Is it going to work? No, I can't do it here. So let's have a look at the example that I'd already done. So here we have an example of one done here. 3 out of 10 for speaking time. Understanding, most people can understand more than they can speak. So this person gave us 6 out of 10. Pronunciation, a little bit lower, 5 out of 10. Grammar, big problem, cannot express their ideas clearly, only 2 out of 10. Active vocabulary, 4 out of 10. And then mindset and confidence, this person felt pretty good, a little bit confident, so they got a 6 out of 10. So after you fill out your wheel like this, you can see where you need to focus. Okay, so this person here, their lowest score is on grammar. So what happens when this is the case? Well, this person obviously feels like when they're speaking English, the other people don't understand, don't get their message very clearly. So they have to spend a long time explaining and trying different ways because they don't have the correct language in their head to formulate a correct sentence. So if this is your wheel, then right now you need to focus most of your time and energy on improving your accuracy and improving your grammar. Okay, but don't do that by studying in a book. Okay, don't do that by just studying grammar. You get the correct practice. You get practice, get feedback, and make small improvements, okay? Practice, feedback, improve. Practice, feedback, improve. That's how you improve your grammar, okay? If I gave an example here at the start of someone with pronunciation, if your pronunciation score is really low and you start focusing on that area, then you will feel like your fluency has really improved. So the idea of this tool is to know where you need to focus your energy. And when you focus, don't keep doing the same thing that's already, if you have a really high understanding, a lot of people who speak to me, their understanding is quite high. I say, what are you doing? What is your practice? And they may say, I'm watching movies on Netflix. I'm listening. A lot of people are getting more input than output, so their understanding is higher, right? If your understanding is higher than your speaking, well, then you need to focus not as much on your understanding than your speaking. You need to increase your speaking time. Okay, you focus on the lowest areas. That's how you get the fastest results, and that's how you use the Wheel of Fluency. Okay, so if this was helpful for you, if this made sense to you, please hit like there, comment below. We can have a conversation about this. And if you need the worksheet, let us know. If you're looking for a place to get that practice, comment below. Comment action if you're ready to take action. If you really have a goal to become fluent in English this year, comment action below and we will contact you and we'll tell you how you can do this. That's our live for today. That's the Wheel of Progress. Later on this week, I'll be going live again for all of you in the community to talk a little bit about what we're doing inside our coaching program this week. Have a great week, everybody, and I'll see you all soon.